What is up, Sara Squad? Welcome back to my channel, Lose Weight Sara, where I'm on a mission to lose 100 pounds my way. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the meal planner spreadsheet that I created. I mentioned this meal planner in my last video, which I just posted, my very first weigh-in of 2022. If you're new to the channel, I would love it if you subscribed and followed along with my journey to lose weight. That subscribe button's right down there, and all you got to do is click it, and it helps me and my YouTube channel a whole lot. Before I get into the spreadsheet, I want to talk about a few things, mainly what this spreadsheet is and also what it is not. So let's start with what it's not. First and foremost, this is not a diet or a meal plan. I have absolutely no credentials, no qualifications, nothing that gives me the right or the qualification to tell anybody what and what not to eat. So this is totally customizable to you and your preferences. If you're following a keto diet, you can put your keto foods on there. If you're following any other kind of diet, you just make it to be what you want it to be. The foods that I eat are just what I would normally eat if I wasn't calorie counting. This is just really a guide to help me keep everything lined up and help keep myself organized. It's also not a calorie tracker. You will need an app or some other device. If you're a pen and paper type of person, that's fine too. This spreadsheet is not going to track calories for you. It will average out your daily calories. However, it's not going to track the calories for you. You'll need to use something to do that. Now, I personally use my Fitbit app. I feel like the calorie tracker on that app is adequate for what I need. Some other popular options are apps like MyFitnessPal or Lose It. There's literally thousands of them. Just find one that fits your needs. I should also note that the spreadsheet is something you could use to track other goals as well. If there were specific data points you wanted to track, you could certainly add them onto it. Meal planning is not the only thing you could use it for. I think it'd be a really good goal tracker as well, or maybe a habit tracker. It's completely up to you. I use it as a meal planner. That's what I designed it for, and that's how I intend to use it moving forward to help me keep organized. So now that we know what it's not, let's talk about what it is. It's really a guide for me. I find that if I plan out my meals either on a weekly or monthly basis, I'm much more likely to stick to my plan than I am if I'm just winging it. If I don't have a plan at least a day ahead, I find that I'm much more likely to make poor food choices or just give up on cooking altogether and order fast food or order a pizza, something along those lines. So it's definitely more of a guide, helps me keep on track. I keep my food options kind of general so that I'm not focusing too much on like a specific meal, but just a general idea of what I want to have for dinner. This also helps me see kind of what works and what doesn't. Some foods definitely trigger inflammation for me, especially ones that are heavy with onion and garlic. So that's something that I have to be mindful of, and I can see how it impacts my weight fluctuations on a day-to-day basis. I do weigh myself every day, but that's absolutely not a requirement of this tracker. This is also a really good way to help you save money on your grocery budget. I have noticed a huge impact already because I'm only ordering the foods that I need for the meals the following week. I've already noticed a significant savings there because I'm not just ordering willy-nilly or maybe I'll make this or maybe I'll make that. I know exactly what I'm making, and I'll be able to know exactly what I need to get from the grocery store. If you're looking for some other fun ways to save money on groceries, check out the links in the description box to Ibotta and Fetch. Those apps are really fun, very easy to use, and they do help you save a ton of money on your grocery bill for stuff you were going to be shopping for anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the spreadsheet. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Now, just so you know how my setup is, I'm on my primary camera here, but I also have a monitor off to the side, so I'll be looking at my monitor as I go through the spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and dive in. So when you click on the link in the description box below, it's going to take you right to the instruction page on the spreadsheet. There's a few important instructions that you have to be aware of before you get started. Now, this is a share only version of this, so you won't be able to make any changes to it as it is. There's two things you can do. You can go ahead and save a copy to your Google Drive, and then that will make it yours. I will not be able to see it, or you can download it as an Excel sheet. I find it easiest to just do it in Google Drive because then it's available on my phone, on my desktop, wherever I can access the internet. I'm able to access that spreadsheet, which is really important to helping me stay on track. You could also keep it on your desktop as an Excel spreadsheet. It's just whatever's comfortable to you. I did include instructions in this yellow box on the spreadsheet that are going to help you download and save it so that you're able to make edits. But just keep that in mind. When you're on this spreadsheet directly from the link, you won't be able to make any changes. I've also included a sample page that shows you how I use it. Once you've reviewed this and you see what I do, you can feel free to delete it from your spreadsheet. That's completely up to you. All right, so let's take a look at the sample page. So this is a sample from my very own journal. So I actually initially created this spreadsheet back in September. However, I didn't stick to it and I kind of just forgot about it and ignored it. So I revamped this and I mapped out every month for the entire year. So all of your dates are already in there. You can see January. This actually has my meal plan filled in there, so you can totally peep that if you want. But moving through each month, it's a clean slate, so you can copy and paste things from the previous month. If you want a whole new plan, you can do that too. It's completely up to you how you want to fill that in. But let's go back to that sample page because I want to show you how I do this. So I mentioned my color coding system, and obviously we want as much green on this spreadsheet as we can get because that means we're sticking to the plan. So you can see here, very rarely do I get a full day of green. It can be tough. Sometimes work gets busy and I end up either skipping breakfast or skipping lunch, never on purpose, but I try to pick up right where I left off for the next meal. You can see here I've entered in my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I typically will try to change it up, but breakfast, I eat pretty much the same things all the time, so I just copy and paste them into the next week, and then maybe I'll rotate them around by cutting and pasting. Dinners are pretty much the same idea. We eat a lot of the same stuff. A lot of my dinners are family friendly, meaning it's things that my kids will eat. They don't always, and they're old enough now where I can tell them, well, then you make something for your darn self. I also try to balance it so that there's meals on here that everybody likes. My husband really loves Italian food, and I do too. So you'll see a lot of that in my example plan. There's every week a spaghetti and meatballs or ziti and meat sauce. There's always some sort of Italian food on my plan. But you can see it's very general. So for example, here I put salad with chicken. That could be anything. Sometimes I'll make it an Asian inspired salad. Sometimes I'll go with like a classic Caesar salad. It's pretty open to interpretation, which gives me flexibility in my plan. So even though I know that I'm having a salad with some sort of chicken, I can get a little creative with my meals. You'll also see I add things like where it says roasted chicken with veggies. Again, that's more of an open for an interpretation type of meal where I know that I'm gonna roast the chicken, but what I do on the side is a little bit more flexible and I can get creative. So just to reiterate, I do highlight the meals that I had. I'll highlight them in green. If I didn't eat, so for this day here, I don't know what happened on September 5th, but I didn't eat breakfast and I didn't eat lunch for some reason, which kind of indicates to me that I might have overslept that day. But I did do my workout. I got my water goal. Oh, look, I actually wrote why I didn't. Busy Sunday. Didn't have time to eat much, but still ended up at 1,400 calories. So let's move on to that section of the spreadsheet. So you can see here, I log my weight on a daily basis. And what's really cool about this is the averages. I think it's really helpful to see where your averages were for the week. So this week I did have a 0.2 loss, and you can see that my average calories were around 1,332. But they're kind of all over the place, and there are just some days that you're busy and you don't necessarily have time to eat. That's something I'm working on, is structuring in time for meals. It can be really tough sometimes though when you have work or kids or pets that need taken care of. Always make sure you're trying to get your meals in. The meal planner helps with that too, because nobody wants a whole lot of red on their spreadsheet. I know I don't. I want green. So another thing you'll notice here is I use the strikeout feature on Google Spreadsheets. I don't know if you can do this in Excel or not, but what you would do is double click and then just double click the text and use this little strikeout. So in this example, this was on my workout column. I only did the treadmill C25K program that day. I didn't do the team body project workout. So I just struck that out and color coded it yellow to know that there was some modification that happened. Now I weigh myself daily, but you certainly do not have to. What this spreadsheet is going to do is it's going to subtract the very first day of the week from the very last day of the week to show you your pounds lost. Now, I don't know about you, but I love a good spreadsheet because it can do math for me. I have put in a formula there. You'll notice here, and you may see this on some of the tabs on the spreadsheet, you'll notice there's a decimal place there. If you want to change this, you just change the decimals over. I am human. I'm not perfect. I tried to get this as perfect as I can to share with you guys, but there might be just, some button clicking that you have to do. You can make this whatever you want it to be. You can use the status updates, track water. You could absolutely add additional columns to this to make it what you want to make it. So what do you guys think? Would something like that be helpful to you? Let me know in the comments below. And if you end up using it, keep in touch and just let me know your feedback. How can I make it better? I would love to do that for you guys. I think this is exciting. It really helps me keep organized. And so far it's helped me be successful the last week losing weight. And I think it's going to be the same this week. So fingers crossed. Now, as I mentioned, I am providing this spreadsheet absolutely free of charge, but if you did want to give me a tip or a donation, any of the money that I earn is going to go towards my YouTube channel. I put in the instructions tab on the spreadsheet my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal information. You are more than welcome to provide a tip there, but it's completely optional. I would be extremely gracious and thankful for it, and it is absolutely not a requirement, so don't feel like you have to. It's just an option there if you do want to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you real soon.